How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today got quite a few more missions done. The first one, bring cargo to the river base. There's a box at the port. I've got to bring it back to the river bay, or like the buildings just south of it. But the other one is bring resources to the zone. It wants 10 logs. So I got started yesterday just chopping some logs up, and I kind of got a bit, I don't know, ahead of myself in the sense that I wanted to use the ATV warden thing that kind of puts out the storage boxes. I've also got 4 logs, by the way. When I readjusted that bridge, it just left 4 extra logs there for no apparent reason. Yeah, because it like deploys the storage boxes, I was hoping to just drive up, like not with this one, with the logs I stacked. Again, I was hoping there, if it did deploy the yellow boxes, it would have just automatically collected all those logs. It didn't in this case. I sent in this thing, and yeah, just had to drag them all individually. It wouldn't even park near the bridge. I had to go quite far away. But yeah, this is where potentially I got ahead of myself, because as I drive here now, the boxes don't deploy. Thankfully, when I got, it doesn't seem to be whether you're near a road. I don't know. It's a bit awkward. It's a bit annoying because it potentially undoes the benefit of this vehicle quite easily. The boxes don't move even if you're kind of doing the articulation and all the rest of it. Once they're deployed, as long as you don't move or drive forward or backwards, they stay there. Eventually, thankfully, I got close enough, and the box did deploy, and it just took... That was the main stack of logs. And then this one, it wouldn't take them for a while, even though they're clearly well within the zone. Eventually, I don't know why, just a bit of back and forth, it eventually worked. And as well, I think a couple of people mentioned it, I jumped off here the other day, but my vehicle got stuck, my links. Someone was saying, you can see just up ahead there's some ancient vases, that if you run them over, it's the mission, and it's actually that, like, Lost Olympus or something. And it says you won a rock, and it's a bit of a weird, confusing one, because obviously in a game with loads of rocks and jumps all over the place, I thought it'd be connected to that, hence why I've been throwing myself off every ledge I could find. But yeah, run those ancient vases over, you see little piles of gold, and then yeah, it pops the mission. Like I say, a bit of a confusing name. Eventually, by the way, it just fades away and disappears. Yeah, but that's another one of those in the bag, so I appreciate it. There's a couple of people that mentioned it. Yeah, for this one, you see, the other side of it is then I wanted to get here, put those zones like over the where I've got to drop the logs, and then spawn the logs, but then it kept saying no free space to spawn the resources. Which again makes this thing a little... I'd rather it just bloody spawns it and deal with it. Like, I'm aware that putting it in a nice flat open area will be best case scenario, but sometimes I might want to put it wedged up against the wall and all sorts. It didn't quite work. Well, this zone where you've got to drop the logs is actually very awkward. It's, I think, a smaller zone than even what it's telling you. So I spawned 10 logs anyway, and I thought, well, they're right next to it, I'll just kind of winch them a bit nearer. That one it is counting, but it was just really awkward. Even this last log, it was within the zone, but it was just still moaning. Like, those ones on the outer edge are like the absolute limit as well. Like, if they roll a little bit more, even when they're still within the yellow zone, it'll say they're not. So it might be worth just putting them in a logger and driving onto the zone. I ended up sending this Vostok thing with a crane. The first annoying thing I just don't like is it won't move the crane over your own chassis. So getting the box to balance was a bit of a pain. I eventually got it on there, and then I was mesmerised by my loaf. It only took a few seconds. I was like, oh, I know, loaf can wear it like a hat. Yeah, it's going pretty good up to this point. It's balanced on there pretty well. And then these bloody rails started slipping over to the side. The loaf man got done professional. He knows his high clearances. Yeah. But they've scammed him out of roof racks. He's got, straps. He's got a roof rack. But they should let him strap cargo to it. It's only fair. I think he's going to crash, and then he doesn't. And you think he's going to crash again, and he doesn't. Well, he hits the back, but that's within the Tokyo Drift handbook. You're allowed to do that. Yeah, first things first. Roundabout etiquette is important. This road, as well, just as I noticed I was dragging this thing along, pretty much everywhere else it was basically just dragging it, wasn't doing anything. On this road it's incredibly grippy, it keeps digging in every few seconds, even started slowing my loaf down just because it keeps catching whatever, so maybe there's like an example of like it dials up the grip on a fully paved flattened road. Kelly's back.
really be better than this. Makes me feel like we're both doing something useful. Feels good, don't it?
It certainly does, Kelly. Let's sleep together to celebrate. Yeah, reverse me loaf out of the way. Next mission is... Oh yeah, it wants to do an AI route, so I've got to go from my river base up to the... basically where some solar panels are going to be delivered, essentially, and then that'll unlock some missions to fix them. Well, I already seen, the first vehicle it sent was an Azov, so I already thought there was a sand dune I wanted to run over. There was also a rock in the road that I thought, I'll race ahead with the loaf and move the rock before the Azovs get there. And then I was like, oh god, a bloody semi-truck was the last thing I wanted to see. It looks like it was chasing me. Like, run loaf. Like a film, is it called? Jewel. The loaf, he drops the hammer. I had to do some serious tight editing in this video to cut down the time. Still couldn't cut into prime loaf footage. Yeah, so I had to drop the hammer, trying to overtake these to get ahead to potentially flatten the sand dune. I wasn't as worried about that, but yeah, like I say, the original intention was to move a rock. Finally, like, give him some abuse and cut him off. How do you like it? Drafting it as he flings himself out, slingshot manoeuvre. Got something balanced on his head. Must be a sign. Yeah, he closed the door on me. Go back. Draft him though for extra maximum speed. And this is how boring these are. Start nudging him a bit because Robin's racing, giving him a boost, and he quits. Oh, what a pussy! It was the opposite of blocking him. I was helping him. Yeah, I've never had one tap out so far. Whilst I'm giving him a boost. Yeah, again, roundabout etiquette. Yeah, got here, the sand dune. I was like, well, I have got time. Drop the hammer. This is in real time. This wasn't sped up. Just how quick the loaf is when he wants to be. The Azov was gaining on me though, so to get out of there, I thought, right, we'll go and move this rock. And after all that, you can't even winch the bloody rock. That's the reason I sent the loaf. But he is a goddamn professional. Improvise, adapts, overcomes, all that good stuff. I nudged the rock out of the way with his tyres. Then I found this platform, completely abandoned all shits to give about the mission, and just parked the loaf there. Yeah, so I started repairing some of the roads. I gotta be honest, looking back, this roundabout probably wasn't even that necessary to pave, but for some reason I did, and I have no regrets. Well, for one, yeah, it was in the zone of the sand quarry, but the road leading up to it, the road leading up to it was already paved, but it had a bump at the end that kind of the AI almost left by themselves. Yeah, patched a few little sections like over that sand dune in the end. Had a bit of spare sand, so I kind of patched the corner. You could see there in green, that was like the route, and then, yeah, they got there. Kelly's back.
The first batch of spares has arrived at the solar station. Now, if somebody could install them at the western side of the station, and do the same at the eastern side when the rest of the spares arrive, well, I'd sure be grateful to that someone, and I'd definitely mention that someone's outstanding performance in my report.
Trying to bribe me with good reports. It's not working me. I'm naturally hostile to management. I don't know why. I didn't choose to be. It's just the way I am. Yeah, quickly, instead, I was umming and ahhing thinking, oh, I don't know if I'll do that mission yet. So I went into this Valve mission. I think I was getting a lot of the side missions cleared, so it only leaves the main ones. Again, quite heavy editing on this one, but pretty simple. Grab 2 valves from the port. I cleared a little path through the cargo containers just to have a nice, easy way to cut through. The first one didn't have an old valve thing there that I know of, but this one, I was only just ramming into it, just being stupid, and I didn't even realise that it kind of popped the old one out.
You replaced those valves like a true pro.
See, goddamn professional. Even Kelly knows.
No time to rest on your laurels, though. It appears some of the oil tanks from the depot across the river sprung a few leaks. Could you grab them and drag them to the port before anyone notices?
If I must. And that finally, by the way, unlocks a construction zone, because it kept saying yesterday, oh yeah, you know, like, the port will be unlocked, and I could see the construction zone there, and then yeah, it keeps going, oh well, just one more mission. I cashed in a transformer was 1400 quid, a solar panel was 800 quid, and those little yellow pipes were 400 quid. Just thought I'd leave that in quickly. I was just testing like how much each different one cashes in as. Yeah, take the beached fuel tanks to the port. And then, just north of like the bridge that's furthest south, just to complicate things, I decided to take the Voron, because I had a crane nearby in that Elamir, So yeah, it was just one of those rare times. I gotta be honest, in the scheme of things, it's still not worth it, as it was quite nice to drive it. There's those tanks kind of washed up on each side of the river. There is actually a shallow section you can cut across. You don't have to use the bridge each time, although I would argue it'd probably be quicker. Yeah, even though I've got a crane nearby, I'm basically going to drive the crane down here, put them in the Voron, and then I've got to go and drop them off anyway, at which point I'll need another crane. So yeah, it's a lot of faffing around. They seriously, one of the biggest mistakes I think they made with this game was not adding multiple crane sideboard combo vehicles, because you basically just, the mule is the only thing that makes sense, like it from an efficiency point of view. Bringing this, I started getting some speed, and I was like, well, I don't really want to brake, because it's very rare you actually get speed. The last second was like, swerve, just don't kill the trees that are worth money, or you can cash in for logs. What would Mr. Burns do? Save the monetary assets, swerve and hit a family if you need to. Yeah, got the tank loaded in there. Now, again, I can cross the river. I was spying that little section out, thinking, right, I've got a little ramp to get out of there. Yeah, in the scheme of things, this first section wasn't that bad. I suppose, actually, strictly speaking, crossing the river, it was a little on the slow side, but I could live with it. I was thinking at this point, though, like, if it's this slow not in low gear, there's times like this where there's barely a need for low, like, if you have low gear, you'd assume not low gear would be faster, but not so much. But yeah, and then it gets even worse, I suppose. Now I'm technically on the other side, cutting along like the bank. Yeah, it got really, really slow. I edit most of it out because, just take my word for it, it'd be about an extra minute of basically play this part of the video at like quarter speed, and that's about what it'd be. Potential thumbnail there, it's looking alright. Yeah, it gets there, it's pretty bloody slow. So then at this point, like I say, for one, the Voron, it's about the same size as the mule really, but I can't, this way anyway, fit both of them on. So I thought I'll hold the tank, and then, by the way, there was a sandstorm, so I thought, right, whilst I'm messing around, I'll go and buy some vehicles. Went and bought this log grabber thing. I was like, what? It's not even reaching it. And then press claw orientation square for me anyway. So it does that. You pick the log up. You just press square for either, like, to rotate that thing either way. And then first of all it misses the log. And then I get it the second time and it's like, right. Ta-da! Present a vertical log. I don't really think there was that much point of it. You can spin it around a little bit and all the rest of it. But then look, what kind of cheap Chinese knockoff arcade machine claw grabbers are they? They bent. Yeah, that's it. It was like, really? It makes a log vertical. That's it. 20 something grand. It's so shit, I'm almost impressed that they put something that shit and pointless in the game. Yeah, my advice would be don't waste your money. that's about the only time I'm ever going to use it. Yeah, I was kind of umming and ahhing with different configurations. It got sunny again, so I'm back to my mission. In the end, yeah, put them sideways on the Voron so I could strap them both, and just thought, I'll try this out. I've done it before. The only reason it's just not as good as like a normal towing mode, because the Voron has now got its brakes on, even though the wheels are rolling. I assure you, it's you can see they're stopping every now and then. It's fighting against me, so it was a bit of a slow, boring drive. It only just tipped about now. I got it 99% of the way there. Close enough. Yeah, and then it was annoying me because it wouldn't let me put all 4 straps on the Voron, so I had to change like the winch point thing to 1. I was just moving it closer, and then I had an idea. I thought, right, I'm going to try and switch to the Voron, hit the straps mid-air, and see if I can land those 2. Got close, got 1, but the other one just rolled out of the way. So I thought, right, I know, quit and reload. At this point, it loaded me back to the bloody beach, so I had to drag this thing back. This time, though, I got a shorter cable, lifted the front of the Voron up. Yeah, basically got back here, I was waiting for it to save, and it did. Switched, released the straps. We only got 1 again this time, the other one. So, I thought, right, I know, quit and reload. But this time when I load it, as soon as it loaded, it just says cannot secure cargo. Because I was in the crane and it just automatically detached to the winch because it's a dick. So it automatically dropped the vehicle, and then yeah, one of them landed again, and then I figured there's no point in restarting. And as soon as I lift the Voron out, obviously it just moves that one into place.
This smells. Actually, I guess it's a complex fragrance. Oil, sewage, and money. Could you say it smells like victory? I suspect you're well and truly over oil and pipes. Can't say I don't feel the
So
same.
you an oil pipe. It's an odd smell of victory. Was it oil, sewage, and money? Like after a night with a prostitute. Yeah, for no apparent reason, whilst Kelly was yapping anyway, dropped the Voron on those tanks, again, for no reason, just to make sure. I actually put the Voron on the roof and then drove off the other side, but not a lot happened. Yeah, while it was a sandstorm earlier, I bought 2 vehicles. I bought this as well, the crane with the giant grabber. It's alright, the grabber's pretty decent. At least it did fit over like the roof of the Hummer, but eventually drops it. I tried to run it over and it just kept pushing it out of the way. Yeah, the annoying thing as well, I don't like this in games in general, there's a lift limit, so even though I'm grabbing the arm of this useless thing, it's just not enough. Even if it possibly did have enough, it'd probably start doing a endo wheelie thing at that point. Yeah, slightly less useless than that log thing. Well, that log thing is undoubtedly the most useless vehicle I've ever seen, probably in any game ever. Even like starter vehicles in Gran Turismo 3 are more useful than that. Yeah, breathe life into the solar station. So after the AI routes got there, there's roundabout etiquette, it's important. There was 4 solar panels and then this generator, and every time I kept just trying to move it more on, but because it just wedges against the crane, it keeps slipping off the solar panels, and it moved a little bit further back each time. So I thought, right, just strap it before it falls off and send it. Yeah, the order like is worth. Basically, I'm going to deliver the generator thing first. So I was like, right, just put the solar panels underneath, so once I unstrap I don't have to keep faffing around with the order. I tipped over here, thankfully fired me crane legs out in time. I also think the solar panels being sideways might have helped a little bit. And just to add a bit of weight over to the left, kind of left me crane sticking out. Waited a second or two to retract the crane legs as well, just even though I know they're going to dig in, but it'll move my wheels a little bit forward before they do. Yeah, drop that off first. Again, I had to be a little bit choppy and quick with the editing because it was well, like basically you deliver these and then you have to deliver a load more. So after I did that sewage pipe valve mission, thinking, oh, I don't know, I probably won't get to this one tonight. And then after I did that, I don't know, I got to this one thinking, well, I could probably squeeze it in at the end of the video. And then yeah, ends up being a pretty long ass mission. Well, it's not that long, but in terms of like, probably longer than most. That's what she said. Yeah, little thumbnail there. There was like, this section is kind of fenced off on a little ledge, but there was a little rock here that you could get up, thankfully. Skin around a bit, but we got there. One nice thing, I like the mule's got a decent turning angle once it's turning. He says, as I think, yeah, I do clip that pipe. Tried to go for another one, just see if I could bump off it, but nope. Yeah, so at this point it was like, well, I'm going to have to squeeze down here, I suppose. Seems to make the most sense, for no apparent reason. And then I was like, well, I'll unstrap them, but the crane's probably not going to reach both, so I'll reverse. I'll just do one at a time. Like, I should be able to reach just over the back. And then, thankfully, yeah, it took that, and then took that. I was like, oh, well, that's bloody marvellous. Even carried on squeezing down here. This one didn't go quite as smoothly. Had to adjust the cargo a little bit. I knew it wasn't going to go then, but it was just moving it nearer to the back. I was actually thinking, I pretty much gave up by now. I was just seconds away from deploying the crane. I was just lining up to get near enough. And then, yeah, thankfully it took that one as well. And then I was like, oh yeah, mission done, isn't it? Like, nope. Kelly did hint earlier, she was sort of saying when the next set of spares get there or something. But yeah, you got to do 3 more solar panels and a generator. And this time, I'm going to go to the 2 solar panels first, then the generator, and then the last solar panel. So I ordered them as like 1 solar panel in the bottom of this sideboard. Getting this bloody generator to fit is a bit annoying. I ended up switching to 1 winch point and doing it to the corners and kind of pulling the crane forwards. Eventually got it in there. And then yeah, 2 solar panels on top, just so I don't have to faff around with the order. Yeah, heading over that way. Pretty descriptive. See, again, like, it was tipping there. I didn't worry too much. I didn't keep steering left. I just sort of straightened up the steering. But You don't have to worry as much in this game, I would say, as SnowRunner. Well, with some vehicles, I certainly think the Mule is pretty fair as far as it will tip eventually. It's not untippable by any means. I would say there obviously are vehicles in SnowRunner that are less tippable than this, but generally speaking, it's I think it's pretty reasonable. So even there again, it's close, but it doesn't. You know, there's a chance, even though it is a boaty, floppy vehicle. Yeah, get these two done first. And the generator, I mean, I edited this regardless, because the Mule, bless it, is just horrifically slow. It's just technically a tiny bit quicker than bringing two entire vehicles all the way over here. Like, say, the Voron and a crane separately. And then, yeah, objective complete. I was thinking to myself as well, what, is it going to do some mission to clear them all? No, just the magic of the loaf. This is the loaf's doing. He was speaking to them. You know, like that guy does out of Free Willy. He was doing that, but he was explaining it to solar panels, not killer whales. Yeah, so I finally got that fixed. Kelly's back talking about the power grid.
It makes me want to get it over with. So, the plan is to redirect the power from the solar station to the central distribution substation. You'll need a cable layer for that. Then, what was it? Oh, yeah, bring and install a new transformer. Sounds easy enough. And you don't even need a cable layer for that part. Think you could do it? Thanks in advance.
They're going to the same place, so I suppose you technically don't need a cable layer, but you basically do. Another quick thumbnail possibility there. I just keep testing out. I've only just found photo mode, so you never know. Got to keep trying these things out. Yeah, so it wants you to deliver a transformer from the same yard, I believe, that you get. Well, it might be like next to it, but that you get the solar panels from. And then also connect the electricity. So it was most likely looking like I'm probably going to have to dig the road up and can just swerve off there at the last little section. Yeah, get the transformer in. It's like where the AI goes to. There's me loaf on the right on his little podium. Yeah, around there, along the road, and to there. And it ends up being a little bit sneaky. I don't like it when they do stuff like this. So I got in, I thought, oh, I can smash those fences down. Splattered my face on it. Thought, right, well, then those fences to the right that are sort of white-edged, some of the red-edged ones, I don't know, some do move actually, but regardless, I thought I could nudge them down, and no, they're also solid. And then you can see they're just purposely fenced off the entire area. And it was looking like, well, I don't know if the Mule is going to reach, hence why I purposely parked as flush to the fence as I could, and then I just muscle memory fired my anchors out, but retracted them back in because I don't want to be pushed further away. And I was hoping between like catching it on the fence and getting a bit of a swing on it and all the rest of it, see if I can get it there. Thankfully, it did. Yeah, I don't know why they mess around like that, because essentially, if that didn't work, I'd just then have to bring a big crane, and it's like, well, just tell me that to begin with. Yeah, I was about to drive the cable layer over here, and I remembered the goddamn horses there, so I can recall it since I had 39 fuel. I always end up just banking it all. I never really use it. I've got loads of spare fuel on every map I've done so far. Yeah, so I was looking like, plan A was trying to cut without going along the road. Plan B was like, if it just ends up being annoying, I figured some of the terrain would be solid rock, like the darker grey looking stuff. But it actually wasn't. And eventually, there's a little faffing around at the beginning, nothing much, but again, I was trying to be pretty tight with the editing. Yeah, so I actually managed to do it without touching the road. This whole section here is definitely doable. I don't get hassled me once all along here. And then yeah, you can see my mule at the top of the screen. That's where I just dropped that transformer off as well. Supply electricity to the central distribution substation.
Inspired work. The central distribution substation is all powered up and has nowhere to go.
I edited the rest of that out because she's just describing the next mission, which I've not done so far. Yeah, like I say, cutting across up there. Worst case, just cut across the road for the first bit, really. And then you can swerve off there. I'm assuming I might have to use the road in the future, but I may pave it as well. Another last little thumbnail. Yeah, 72% now, so not too far off. There's the how many missions and that I've got left. Yeah, that's about it for today, though. Thanks for watching. Get yourself a loaf, because he is a whopper, and I'll be back soon.